Hello and welcome to Soggy Popcorn, episode 21. Here with me, as always, is Simon.
Hello there. Hello, yes. Is it 21? Is it not more than that? 21.
21. No, we've almost
Oh,
caught up with
dude.
as many gaming podcasts as I've been doing.
Oh man, really? Oh,
Yeah,
let's totally overtake that if we can.
it's gonna, yeah, because episode 23 was the last one I did with Ben on the game.
Okay.
We're at 21, so we're almost there.
Yeah, and let's get these. Let's get more of these going then. I reckon.
Yeah, I think we can.
For the fan, not fans. The one fan we have.
For the fans.
Everything for the
I'm
fan.
gonna get the okay. So we're gonna be talking about it was the Oscars last night,
Oh.
in English time, in ye old English times, or would it be early this morning?
Yeah, it would have been early this morning. Yeah,
Yeah, about
still,
18 hours ago, let's say, something like
yeah,
that.
it's done. Finally done.
Finally done.
Quite relieved actually. It's finally over.
Yeah, well, I'm relieved in the fact that it was just boring, but
Yeah.
let's just go straight into it. And then
Yeah.
afterwards, we're going to be talking about stuff that we watched and whatever, including Deadpool, and I watched some other documentaries again. I think I've documentaried myself out. And yeah, Survivalist. We
Yeah,
can
we'll
maybe
chat
talk
about
about
that.
it.
A little bit of Walking Dead, a little bit of TV stuff, I reckon, as well.
Yeah. So we'll crack straight on. It was the 88th Annual Academy Awards. And I've got a list of winners here in front of me, so I'm just going to go by this. I mean, for me, the biggest shock was Spotlight winning Best Picture.
I know, Spotlight, Schmotlight, yeah. Well, before we
Best
talk
Picture.
before
Sorry.
about that, do you find like it's just a bit of an anticlimax, the whole thing? Just
I think now more than ever.
yeah, there's such a build-up. It's almost like the nominations have become bigger than the fucking awards and the build-up to it. It's just like, oh, the award, oh yeah, done. Okay, well, bah. And it's like
Yeah,
they start the build-up so early, like months ago, that it feels like the moment for me, loses a bit of momentum until the night
yeah.
actually happens. It's like, oh yeah, it's soon, right? Oh, it's not for 2 months. Oh, okay, and then it happens like, oh yeah, that thing. Okay,
Well,
done.
as well, there's so many like BAFTAs kind of
Yeah.
precursor, what people are going to vote for, and also just generally, there's just not that many exciting films being made.
No, it's
So
just
it's
tame
like,
and it's just so
yeah,
serious. It's just so self-worthy.
yeah.
I prefer the BAFTAs. It's funny, you know.
Well, 'cause it's British.
Yeah, but you
So
know,
all these
Stephen
famous
Fry
Hollywood
hosted
gigs.
it, and it's funny, and they were just like, I actually haven't seen much of the highlights of the Oscars, but these BAFTAs have some funny stuff, some little kind of little skits, but you know, like Rebel Wilson, she was quite funny when she went up and talking about chocolate on Valentine's Day, talking to Idris Elba, stuff like that. The Oscars are a little bit too serious, I think, these
Yeah,
days. These
it
days.
does love itself. I mean, that's the thing is, it's basically elitist, like completely, and
Oh man, yeah.
there's nothing. I just think like back to like I don't know, like I don't know, 94, 95 Oscars or whatever, when it was like Pulp Fiction and Forrest
Yeah,
Gump and
yeah.
all this stuff, and you're looking at the stable of films, you're like, this fucking classics, like
Yeah,
some
yeah,
great
yeah.
things here.
Exactly. That's exactly the word, though. They should be classics. But
Yeah,
it's just smug, and maybe it's just fucking smug the whole time. I just didn't realize it until my I'm in my jaded years. I've just become bitter myself. I think everything's fucking smug, but it just feels it. But then again, it's given us some stuff to talk about, so whatever. Thanks, Oscars. At least we can discuss it. But yeah,
exactly.
Spotlight, man, that was. Oh, that's ridiculous. It does shock that it won, and I think
Best Picture.
it's like the worst picture of all of the films. Like, we went through it a few weeks ago, didn't we? And neither of
Yeah,
us thought that it had a chance to get
no. I
to
mean,
get that.
it just feels like it's based purely on the subject matter. It is Oscar
Yeah.
baiting subject matter was dealt with in a very non-controversial way, to be honest. And I don't know,
Well, that's the
just
thing. It is because yeah, that's exactly it. I was talking to my brother earlier, very very briefly about it. And he was like, "Oh yeah, Spotlight one. I haven't seen it. What was that like?" I said, I found it kind of shit and boring." He
mm,
was like, "Yeah, but it's I guess it's good that they're casting some light on quite a serious thing, the molestation in the church. So maybe it'll get some attention it needs." But it didn't, because it's all it really was. It was a boring telling about the build up towards breaking the story. There wasn't, you know, enough about, like we were talking before, the community afterwards and the effect it had, and what is actually going to happen, and how they covered it up. It was just about a bunch of self-righteous journalists. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It did, whether or not it will shine a light on a very big problem, I don't know. But
it doesn't need to shine a light. Like it's not as if people are unaware of it. This happened.
exactly,
The whole point of it was that it was broken open. Not
yeah,
that this film is going to break it open again. The
yeah,
whole
yeah,
point of the film
exactly.
being that they've okay, you know, it's like it really just did fuck me off that one. It's like how fucking blur.
Yeah, and it can't be subject matter. When you think about best film has to be technically and dramatically and performance-wise and everything just best film all around best,
Mm.
everything it does. And it wasn't. How can that? How can it be? I mean, oh, you know, it's better than The Big Short. That's basically it.
Oh
But
God,
how?
I was listening to a couple of people who I won't say any names, but
They liked
not
it.
close friends, but huh?
Well, they're not close anymore if they liked The Big Short.
No, yeah. But there was, well, I've heard it from a few people, like talk about Big Short, and I'm like, look, obviously, title to your own opinions and stuff, but I do not see what anyone liked about Big Short. Oh,
Oh
well, I
no,
thought it was kind of funny.
no,
Okay, I'm like, okay, well,
no, no,
what
no,
can you
no.
say, right? People find different things funny. That's fine. But I was like, well, you have to admit that this, and you have to say like that. And when people are like, oh no, like one of the guys like, and then there's this one bit where like I talk about Margot Robbie in a bar, talk about, and she's fucking in the bar. They there and they cut to it, and I was like,
Who are you hanging out with? Who are these morons you're talking
I know.
to?
There's part of me that was like, I kind of get it now. Okay, as in like that was the reaction that they're obviously
They're the people they're
hoping
aiming at.
for. Yeah,
Yeah, but because these are the people saying, "Oh yeah, it's funny," because they're told to think it's fucking funny. They're not
yeah,
thinking themselves because it's not funny.
yeah.
But
That wasn't a joke.
yeah, exactly. It's just annoying. Like when you look like, I know we said it hasn't been a vintage year at all,
Mm.
but Mad Max, Revenant, Room, Bridge of Spies are all far, far better than Spotlight. Even The Martian was better than Spotlight.
Yeah,
Brooklyn, even Brooklyn was better than Spotlight.
yeah.
But yeah, it's,
I haven't seen it, but yeah.
yeah. I mean, you know, for in terms of just it actually was an enjoyable watch to an extent, but Spotlight was boring. Um,
I just yeah. When I heard that out of everything, I was like, oh, seriously.
yeah,
But
no, man. Yeah, but anyway, but it's done now. It's done.
never mind. Yeah. Well, okay. So best director went to Iñárritu. I never know how to say his name for The Revenant. I thought, yeah, okay. I makes sense. Again, it's like
Yeah,
it's not surprising.
yeah, yeah. No, I think he should have got it. And I
Yeah,
think that's what we predicted, and I think that he deserves it. Two in a row now, so pretty amazing stuff.
yeah,
I think some people uh, it would be amazing to see George Miller get it for Mad Max, but it wasn't going to happen.
no.
And some people thought that Spielberg, oh no, he wasn't actually up for Best Picture, was he?
I don't know.
Oh,
I
sorry,
can't
Best
know.
Directing.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
I think some people were thinking that Bridge of Spies might have had an outside shot, but yeah, in terms of directing, no one else was going to get it apart from
You know, they
Inarritu
made such
anyway.
a big fucking deal about it leading up to it that
Yeah,
it's always going to happen.
well, I would
Uh,
love to have seen like the guy who did Room. What's his name?
yeah, I can't
Perhaps.
remember his name. Yeah,
That would have been wicked, but that's never going to happen. But he's probably going to win an Oscar in the future. But yeah, you can't really argue with the directing of Revenant now. So
no, I mean that's fine. That's
yeah,
understandable. It's just like okay. Then obviously DiCaprio got his
that was
Best
always going
Actor.
to happen, man. If he didn't, they would have burned the house down. So that's yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
it's not necessary for the performance of that he's been nominated for, though, is it? It's for his. It's like his star power almost. So here you go. Here's the 20 years of being good, and
yeah.
you're still young and doing well. So keep at
I
it.
mean that's the thing with stuff like the Oscars is that it's like they always seem to get people. Okay, they don't always. That's a complete lie, but generally speaking, when you look at the big name stars or whatever, and they get their Oscars, it feels like it's usually for stuff that isn't the
Yeah,
highlight of their career. It's like
yeah,
what was it, Scorsese and The Departed or something.
yeah. It took a while for
Um,
Scorsese to get one as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
tends to be for their body of work, doesn't it, these days?
yeah, which
Which
it
is
shouldn't be.
bullshit. No,
Yeah.
it shouldn't be. Which is bullshit because it's just, again, it's just like a club of like, okay, now you deserve it. Now you're one of us.
Yeah.
Together. But then again, certain things do happen, like the two female wins, which go
Yeah, but
against
good.
that. You
Yeah.
know, like I think you know what that DiCaprio is a obvious example of that. But the other three Oscar acting wins, I think, were pretty good. I was actually really happy. Supporting actor was, what's his name again?
Mark Rylance.
Mark
Yeah.
Rylance. I said that's who I wanted to win, right? And
Yeah.
I thought he was going to get it because just because of the performance, and he's like this, celebrated stage actor.
Yeah.
So that I'm happy with, man. And he's a really humble guy. He's just like his the acceptance speech and the interviews he's done afterwards. He's like, yeah, it's nice to be here. Um, so I was really happy with that, and I was Brie Larson. I think again that's she must have an amazing agent, and she must have a lot pushing her in Hollywood to be the next big thing. But her performance is incredible, so you can't really take it away from that.
Yeah, and I felt like it was well deserved, and also like for Room to get like a nice big
Yeah, man.
Oscar
Yeah,
was good.
yeah. I think that's possibly my favorite film of the lot. So yeah, I'd say she deserves it. It's a bit weird to see her get one so quickly, but fuck, the performance was so good.
Yeah,
Um,
and Alicia Vikander, wherever you say it. I
yeah,
mean, she
that.
was the best thing about Danish Girl.
Yeah, again, I've been thinking she's at the beginning of the year or wherever. I thought that she was going to be big. I didn't think she would get this big this quickly.
Mm.
But she was good in Danish Girl. I wouldn't say she was necessarily. I still would have liked to have seen Jennifer Jason Leigh, but like you were saying, it's probably never going to happen.
Mm.
Um, But yeah, I didn't think she'd get it. But then again, it's hard to argue against it. I thought Kate Winslet would get it just because she's Kate Winslet. She's had enough of them.
Yeah, I'm
But
glad they didn't give it to Kate Winslet, to be honest.
yeah, I'm glad as well. But she is good. She was all like, it feels like she's got this Oscar too soon because she is going to be big and good and nominated again anyway. Um,
Yeah,
but it's nice to give some young blood some of these awards. So I think it's quite good.
yeah, she's a good one.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, she's
I
going
tried
out
to
with Thingy, isn't she? So that can't hurt. That can't hurt. She's going out with Fassbender, isn't she?
fuck off, is she?
Yeah, they've been on and off for a while, but they're like together.
He's done well.
Yeah, I
Apparently,
know he
he's
has. Yeah, they're like sitting next to each other at BAFTAs and stuff. Yeah, so
apparently I heard a story from well, I won't say who, but and I'll take it with a pinch of salt. I don't know. He might actually be listening to this. I've no idea. But he
Fassbender.
was Fassbender's gonna be
Fassbender.
listening to this. He was saying that apparently Fassbender, but who was it? Some big shot was having a dinner party, and Fassbender was there, and De Niro turned up with whoever he was going out with at the time,
Yeah,
and all this stuff. And basically, apparently, Fassbender thinks that he's like the dog's bollocks. Like he really
yeah, of
thinks a
course
lot
he
of
does.
himself.
Yeah,
And apparently, he was hitting on De Niro's other half.
really?
Yeah, De Niro had to take him to one side, and
Oh yes.
he basically threatened him. It says basically, I think Fassbender got a little drunk or something. And I don't know if this is true or not, but I really want it to be true.
I don't know. Yeah,
De Niro basically was like, I don't want you fucking talking to her, looking at her, or whatever, and all this stuff. Again, you're like a jumped up little prick kind of thing. And apparently Fassbender was like, oh, come on, whatever, like classic
yeah,
English or Irish, wherever he is.
yeah.
Like, I'll leave it out, just having some fun and all that stuff. And apparently De Niro didn't like it, and it
He's
ruined the whole party.
he's got a real air of. It seems to have quite an air of arrogance about him.
Yeah,
Which you can't blame, really, seeing how quickly he's become such a massive star.
yeah.
But there's so much fuss around him. I think he is good in certain roles. He is very good, but in roles like Steve Jobs, he's not. And I just don't get it. Like everyone has a fascination with him, maybe because he's got his dick out in shame and everything. But people do just think he's this, um, this massive like heartthrob. But I don't really see it myself.
I
But
know.
I'm not a
I do
woman, so
kind of, yeah. I mean, I do kind of get it. I mean, he is a good-looking guy and all that, and he's got that quite chiseled, like
yeah.
serious kind of
Yeah, but
look.
he's no Bradley Pitt, is he?
No, but then I think that's part of his appeal.
Yeah, I think maybe.
Looks a
Yeah,
bit rough and ready kind of
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, I think so. And he's just got the balls, you know, to do stuff like Shame. And I think that also is appealing for people, that he just seems a bit fearless
Yeah,
in the stuff he does, and also a little bit arrogant. So probably
I'd be really
works.
interested to see what he does with Assassin's Creed film.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it's
How
gonna
what
be.
direction that's going to go in, full stop. But
Yeah, yeah. I wonder, but that's a while away, isn't it? They're shooting it now, aren't
yeah, they're still shooting it. Yeah, I
they?
think. Okay, so let's move on. So, adapted screenplay was The Big Short.
Yeah, nah.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Whatever. I think people jizzing over it, so I suppose you had to get something.
yeah.
Original screenplay Spotlight. I mean, as a screenplay, I think it had quite a nice pace. I mean, the dialogue felt quite natural. I mean,
Yeah,
whatever. Like, okay, it's a very talky film, and that kind of worked.
that was original, wasn't it? That he got.
Yeah,
I would have
original
liked to have seen
screenplay.
Inside Out get original screenplay.
That's
Um,
interesting. Yeah, was that up for
yeah,
it?
it was up for it. Yeah, yeah, or
Yeah,
even Straight Out Compton, just because it wasn't up for much. You know, give it something. But
yeah,
uh, yeah, it was just looking at reminding myself of the list now. Bridge of Spies, yeah, probably wasn't going to get it. Ex Machina, maybe not. But Inside Out, man, it's just such an amazing, like, unique look at that. You know, the
yeah,
story. You know, all the little bits and bobs in people's heads and how people work. It's great, but that was people. A lot of people hoped that it would be one of the first Pixar films to get something other than just best animated film with the
yeah,
screenplay, but it didn't. Oh well, it's a shame.
yeah. It's a shame. Um, then what else? Cinematography. Lubetsky won it again for The Revenant. I
Yeah,
mean,
so
we
that's
called it,
three,
but
3 years in a row.
yeah, crazy.
That's crazy.
Literally. But you know, that's what it's like. What we're saying whenever the last episode was, or whatever. It's like
Yeah,
deserves it. There's not
yeah,
much
yeah,
you can
exactly.
do.
Yeah, man, you can't take that away from him. It's amazing.
Yeah,
Looks incredible. You know, maybe it would have been nice to see is it Roger Deakins than he did Sicario.
yeah,
That would have been cool because he's been nominated a million times and hasn't won. But you know, as soon as I saw The Revenant, it was like, okay, yeah, this kind of looks
yeah,
incredible. This guy's
yeah.
done it
It's
again,
great.
bastard. Yeah,
Um, and then I've got here like basically all the Mad Max stuff. So production design was Mad Max. Fair enough. Looked great.
yeah, man. Yeah. What got editing?
Editing got Mad Max
Okay,
again.
actually, Mad Max got the most.
It got six. Yeah, it got the
Six,
most
didn't it?
awards. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it got film editing, which was great. Was really great. Costume design had to. That was brilliant. Jenny Bevan or whatever going up again in like a leather coat and a scarf, like she just walked off Soho.
it's funny, isn't it, that like you see the BAFTAs controversy with Stephen
Looks like a
Fry.
bag lady or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but then everyone's like, "Oh my god, like he's gone too far this time." But it's like she's a dear friend of mine. I'd call her that to her face. And so, you know,
Well, it
just
was a bit
people.
weird. There was a sort of thing on Twitter where like it was the only thing I really saw at the Oscars, to be honest, which is like that when she walked up to get her award,
Yeah,
loads of people just weren't clapping, were just looking at her.
yeah, or their reaction were like, "Who's this?"
Yeah, and it's a bit like, you know, dicks,
I
elitist
think it's
again.
yeah, I think it's cool. She's like with a leather jacket and a scarf and
That's
whatever
what I
she's
mean. Let
got
her go
on.
whatever she fucking wants to wear. But like
Yeah,
to like not
exactly.
clap. Inurati was one of them as well. Just to sit there and look at her and just not clap. It's
I
like
think that maybe they just think, yeah, they just think she's not wearing the uniform which everyone else is wearing, and it's just boring. That's another thing. It's boring about what people wear. It's like it's almost like the Oscars is how skinny can the women get in
yeah,
a very short period of time, and then how much side boob can they get away with showing without
Hmm.
revealing just how saggy their side boobs have gotten over the years. And with the guys, it's like, well, you just got to wear a tux. It's just everyone looks the same.
yeah.
It's just such fucking uniform.
I know.
Um,
Like this is the thing is we're gonna get to a point where the Oscars will be something that people will laugh at. Like they'll see it like
I
how
hope
we look
so.
back at like those old like TV shows of the past, like where
Yeah,
it's like mixed entertainment or something, and we're like, oh god, like people used to watch this and enjoy this.
yeah,
We'll think about that at the Oscars at some point. I swear.
yeah. I mean, it's like when you look at the BAFTAs, it's a bit more relaxed. The actors and stuff, especially Americans who come over for it when they think they're going to win something, they seem to be actually having more fun
Yeah,
because it is funnier and people probably just drink more. And the women seem to be a little bit more creative with what they're wearing. There's less expectation of them just being like as elegant as they could possibly be at the Oscars, because it's just everyone's just wearing similar, like very, very smart couture, very high end dresses, because there's just an expectation that everyone has to look as good and as proper and as clean cut as possible. But then it's still at the Kodak Theatre, right, on Hollywood Boulevard.
So.
It's a shithole there anyway. That area is a fucking shithole. Yeah, just stars on the floor and people's handprints outside and a bunch of bums on the street and dudes dressed as bananas or whatever handing out flyers and stuff. It's a shithole, that whole area. So it's just so pretentious. It really is.
It fills me with like, I remember like the first time when I saw it and I was like, I cannot believe like all the films and everything I've watched about Hollywood and LA, this is it.
Yeah,
like
it boils down to this once a year.
It was the ultimate. But like, sorry, I'm saying when I went to LA, like what you're saying,
when you went there, yeah.
And I was just like, I just felt like my dreams have been crushed a little bit.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
Yeah,
maybe we should do our own awards thing. We'll just set it up in a pub, invite everyone around, invite these people.
Make everyone wear gowns and tuxes and stuff.
Well, just where we do the opposite and just be like, just wear what you want. Hey, Brie Larson. Right to our agent. You've been nominated for a Soggy award or whatever. You're invited to come to see who turns up. It might be like the Razzies, where like Halle Berry or whatever might turn up.
Yeah, one person turns up and they actually eat some soggy popcorn.
It only needs to be one famous person, and we'd be in.
Yeah, that's
they don't have to be famous.
After that,
and then we can get our studio audience and all this stuff. Here we go.
New plans. Put it into action.
Yeah. The Mad Max got film editing, costume design, makeup, sound editing, sound mixing. So he got the more technical ones, which is fair enough. But what it didn't get anything then. No, Star Wars didn't get anything.
Up to the editing and in this effect stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, it didn't get anything by the looks of it. But one thing that did get visual effects, which I thought Mad Max or Star Wars might get, I think we put Star Wars, was Ex Machina.
Yeah, I guess. Why not?
I mean, she was good. I mean, she did look like she was.
That is 100% an award for one thing. Is how she looked. It's quite good, to sometimes get, because the amount of the budget that Mad Max and especially Star Wars would have had compared to Ex Machina, you couldn't compare it. So just to put all that like labor into one character and looking as perfect as possible throughout the whole film in a small, subtle, underplayed film, it's quite good actually. I'm quite happy, because you've got to think there's only probably a few people responsible for that, rather than thousands of people responsible for how the entire
Star Wars looked.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's interesting. Best score was The Hateful Eight.
Yeah, and Morricone got it. Is he still alive? Did he actually accept it?
Yeah, he's still alive. I don't know if he actually was there, but I'm pretty sure he's still alive.
That's his first one, isn't it? He's had quite a few nominations. That's pretty cool. So, I mean, that's down to Tarantino digging it out of the vaults and dusting off the old track, isn't it? So
yeah, I mean, it was good.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, that's great. But he didn't write it for the film, did he? He had already written it.
Yeah,
Tarantino picked it up.
And used it. Best song Writings on the Wall from Sam Smith, which I can't believe, but fine. I can believe it because I never know. Best, just don't have it. Best song. We've talked about this before. It's just fucking weird to see Sam Smith go up and be like, apparently he was like, I'm the first openly LGBT man to.
Yeah, well, he said, I heard recently that no openly gay person has won an Oscar.
I don't believe that. That can't be true.
Believe that? Surely not. I'm sure a lot of gay people have won Oscars.
Yeah, they must have.
Whether they've been openly gay, I don't know. So that's when he's he's kind of implying, he said, that he could be the first one, but surely not. But you're right. I don't even know why best
all song. The technical.
Why is it in there?
People.
Who gives a shit about the best song?
Yeah. It's weird.
Score. It's weird. Right. Fair enough. A song. Just one song. Again, it's just a way of celebrity. Just let's raise somebody's profile. Bam. There you go.
But it's like, it's the equivalent of saying, what was the best meal cooked on set?
yeah, I know.
It's like, it was part of the film, but it's not really.
Like, which one had the best weather? That one had really good weather. Yeah, like it's there, but you know, someone else could have done it.
It's like, why are film people saying what music they like?
Yeah, like, who
I
had the
don't get
best
it.
cameras? Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's bullshit.
It's fucking weird. Anyway, foreign language film was Son of Saul. No surprise, because it's the only one I think I heard of out of the lot of them.
Yeah, plus it's about Nazi stuff and concentration camps, so it's always a
Was
winner,
it?
isn't it? Yeah, something like that.
Animated feature Inside Out. No surprise.
Yeah, documentary Amy,
Yeah,
the only one I've seen. So yeah, that seemed like that was a one-horse race the whole time. Anyway,
it's weird because I've actually I was going to film something with Asif Kapadia.
oh yeah,
And I've got his number on my, well, I don't know if I've still got it, but I did have his number on my phone.
Thanks,
We would
congratulations, mate.
text, and there was part of me when I saw that he won. I was like, just part of me that really wants to just text him, just
Thanks
be
for the
like,
thumbs up. Well done.
well done on Amy. I know you haven't had a text from me in about 4 years, but well done. Probably 5 years now. So what else? Bear Story, animated short, whatever. Documentary short, A Girl on the River, The Price of Forgiveness, whatever. Live action short, Starrer, whatever. So I mean, well done. They all won Oscars.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was the Oscars. So pretty.
You haven't seen much of the actual night itself and Chris Rock and Matt.
No, I heard a bit about Chris Rock basically being like, "I'm the only black man here," whatever. I can't do his
Yeah,
voice.
well, he did the whole like welcome to the White People's Choice Awards, and if
That's it, yeah.
you know, if there was a nomination for host, I never would have won, and all this shit. And I'm sure he peppered some other little digs in there throughout, which I haven't seen. I've just seen some of his opening speech. There's this other thing where, what was her name? Like a lot of people were saying how it was quite awkward, that it was a bit of a joke that the actress, what's her name, Stacey Dash, is it?
Stacey Solomon. No, I don't know.
No, Stacey Dash. She's been in a whole bunch of films. Black actress, African American actress. She came out, like, he made a joke, and then she came out onto the stage and said, and she was in Clueless. Remember the girl on Clueless?
Oh right, her.
Yeah.
God, she has. Yeah. What has she done since Clueless?
She's still hot. She still looks hot though.
She only did that one
this is
film.
The thing, right? So what happened is Chris Rock made a joke and said, "Okay, someone's going to come out now and like to speak on behalf of my people." Then she came out from behind the curtains and just said, "I cannot wait to help my people out. Happy Black History Month," and then walked off. And everyone was like, "Huh? Is that a joke? Why did she just suddenly say that? Where did she come from?" And that was it. Yeah, so it's kind of strange, but loads of people like that didn't make sense. Why is she suddenly there? And was that a joke, or is that a dig, or is that criticism, or is that a statement, or what? That's it. So I don't know if she fucked up her lines or if she just didn't deliver it right. But yeah, it's not. I still don't really actually know if it was a proper joke or some sort of sarcastic statement. So whatever. That was strange.
That's weird.
Yeah, apparently Annie G made a little appearance. Sacha Cohen Baron. Cohen?
Yeah, it's his Grimsby character, I imagine.
Yeah, he came in on character and said a couple of funny things, apparently, when he delivered one of the awards. But apart from that, I haven't seen any amazing headliner, this guy was hilarious, or that happened. And there was
another boring Oscars.
Well, there was, Leo's climate change speech, which he was always going to say. But, it's funny, they give certain people a platform who they wouldn't give other people, and they gave them a lot of time up there. I think they obviously knew what was going to happen, but good for him if that's what floats his boat. And there was also the Lady Gaga performance, wasn't there?
Yeah, which apparently got everyone really super excited.
Well, yeah,
crying about abuse victims or whatever.
Yeah, because there was another guy, wasn't it, like an old director or producer or someone who said a speech about it, saying, and it is horrible subject, and there's a lot more could be done about that kind of thing. So so many cases are never reported and everything. But yeah, is that just a Gaga song? Was that in a film? Was it also nominated?
It must have also. I think it was also nominated.
I think it was, right. Yeah, apparently I think it was nominated. But again, it's like, I don't want to criticize that because it's it's a horrible thing to happen to anyone. But it just seems so self-worthy, and just again, like last year, they did the song from the
black
song. I don't know.
Selma.
Yeah, from Selma, that was it. and again, you know, that everybody was like, oh yeah, tears are welling up, and blah, blah, blah. And then they, you know, they've done this one at the Oscars. Is it like, oh, okay, this is great, it's the perfect platform to get some exposure for a serious subject and people going to take notice now, or is it just pointless? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Because,
know. I mean, I don't watch it anymore for the spectacle or whatever. Anyway,
well, the glitz and the glamour seem to have been gone, and it just seems to be one massive lecture now about, you know, what's social problems and whatever else, and then a pat on the back for the beautiful people who won the Oscar this year. When you
yeah,
look back at the days, you know, years ago, where classic era, Hollywood era, when you see like Bogart and one of those dudes, you think like there's such a glamorous affair. Maybe that's because you look back and it's just all these
glamorous
massive,
time.
yeah, but it doesn't seem to be particularly glamorous now.
No.
Well, from my point of view, anyway.
Well, as well, it's like they're not the Hollywood stars back then were like classic screen icons, and
Yeah.
nowadays we don't really have that kind of
Is that because of just time,
ideology.
retrospectively? You know, you look back at pictures of like, you know, Catherine
Yeah,
Hepburn getting an Oscar and you think, oh, it's amazing. Oh, because the,
well, it was literally the golden era of Hollywood. Like,
yeah,
where everyone was going. It was a big event. It
yeah.
wasn't just like I'm going to pop to the fucking Odeon and buy a hot dog and throw it up my bum.
Yeah, well, it's just such a huge money-making marketing machine, isn't it? That these days that it just feels a little bit, you know, yeah, just leaves a bit of a crappy taste in your mouth.
Yeah, it's just weird. The whole thing's weird. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Anyway, it's done now, so we've got another year to wait until next time we bitch about it.
Oh god, yeah. Just like I'm so glad it's over. Not that it's like
Affected your life.
no, not at all. But it's just it's just boring.
Mm. It is.
um,
Let's move on then.
let's move on. So tell me, I saw some really fucking weird stuff. Let's start with the big one, which is Deadpool.
Yeah, because we both saw it this week. It has been very big, breaking all sorts of records.
Exactly. For something that is funny, but
yeah,
not amazing. But
what do you think about it? I don't think we do. Do we
um,
even need to give a very quick synopsis for those who haven't seen it? Not really, right?
no, I mean it's just about Ryan Reynolds plays this guy called Deadpool again,
Again, yeah.
forgetting X-Men or Wolverine's origins, whatever. And he and Deadpool is basically a kind of invincible superhero, but his whole point is that he kind of puts the comic book thing on its head. So he breaks the fourth wall. He's very much aware that he's a comic book character, and he's like really like rude, crude, and all this stuff. And they've made a film about him.
Yeah.
And that's
it's also his
basically
like origin story, isn't it, as well, basically?
Yeah, very much his origin story.
Yeah.
But I did like it in that I like that when Ryan Reynolds does. I think Ryan Reynolds is generally funny anyway.
Yeah, I do.
Back Van Wilder days and all this
Yeah.
stuff. And it's very much that same kind of cheeky,
Yeah.
inappropriate, but because he's got this kind of Hollywood good looking kind of thing going on, it does make it that bit funnier because you don't expect him to say these like quite clever, witty lines. I thought it was well written. It was a bit shit how all the action scenes are in the trailer.
Yeah.
That was annoying. And also it did get quite story heavy at some points.
Especially in the middle.
Yeah, the bad guys weren't great. They were okay. It was what's her name, UFC fighter woman whose name I've forgotten. That's the one. And then this British guy who I've seen in stuff before, but I can never put my finger on the whole time I was watching it.
Yeah, Ed Screen. He's in Game of Thrones, yo.
Okay.
He was what's his name? Khaleesi's love interest before he got ditched and they replaced him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Why did he get ditched? Did we ever find out?
No, I'm not too sure actually. I can't
think it might have been a money thing.
I think it was, or I remember reading ages ago he had to go and do something else. He did Transporter, but it's probably not. Maybe he's just shit, and they wanted the other guy in who was better than him.
He's better than him.
But yeah, I can't remember the goddamn character's name. But anyway, Khaleesi's love interest. But yeah, then he did Transporter, didn't he? And then he's apparently a rapper as well. And he's actually he's because I looked him up afterwards. So I was wondering as well. He's 1 day younger than me. Born on the
Oh
29th
shit.
of March. Yeah,
Shit.
just 1 day out.
I'm
And
older than him.
worlds apart.
You know? Okay.
Yeah, you're a few weeks older than him. But yeah, so he was I think he did ill manners or something. But apparently he does some rapping or something, whatever. And then yeah, he's
Okay.
basically come from Game of Thrones 1 season, Transporter, this. So he's made
Interesting.
strides. Doing well.
He has done
But yeah, Gina Carano was
nothing.
yeah,
She's just
nah,
another
she was just
freak that just did stuff.
mute, strong, butch, bitch,
Yeah.
basically. I didn't think the bad guy Ajax, played by Ed Skrein, I don't think he had nearly enough charisma to pull
No.
off a role like that, especially when he was the only real antagonist.
Yeah.
There wasn't enough, and with his cheesy wide grins and stuff, and his kind of say my name shit, it wasn't enough to make you really root for Deadpool against him. It was just a bit of a dull character.
Yeah.
I didn't buy that character at all. Deadpool was a character I bought, not the bad guy.
Yeah. I mean, it did feel like he was used just for like, we've just got to make it. We want to do an origin story and just make it slightly interesting. But it
Yeah,
did. It felt like a bit. I don't know. I hate to say this, but it did feel like a bit cheap. And
yeah. But then they covered that well by addressing it. Like everything
yeah,
it was, they addressed it, and
yeah,
that kind of worked because it did feel cheap. But you know what? It's like distraction technique the entire film. Like it felt cheap and looked cheap, but because they addressed it and joked about how there's only two X-Men characters in it, they couldn't afford the others, it kind of distracts you from it,
yeah,
from the action not being that great or that ambitious. And also the fact that it was rude and crass and R-rated distracts you from any other, it basically distracts you from it still just being an origin story, because everyone complains about origin stories that have to be done and they're boring and predictable. And when you boil this down, you strip away all the humor and the crude writing and all the like sexual innuendo and everything. It is just an origin story, which is pretty simple, really, really simple. The
yeah,
love, the love story. Yeah, okay, they did some nice stuff there, especially the sex scenes, quite funny, and you did feel that bond between them. They invested quite nicely, I think, in their backstory,
yeah.
the flashbacks. But still, it was a very simple origin story. So I don't know where Deadpool will go after this, but I don't really know enough about the Deadpool comics. I'm not sure is he supposed to have that boyish charm? Is he supposed to, is it
Yeah,
all
he's more
about the
like
romance? I don't know enough about it to criticize how it's
yeah.
written, really.
I mean, I only know like bits of it. I mean, it is definitely keeping in the same tone. I mean,
Yeah,
Deadpool in my head is more in this one. He's kind of like roguish, charming.
yeah, he's very playful. Is he supposed? Do you think he's supposed
Yeah,
to be like that?
but no, he's a bit more of a violent dickhead in the comics. Uh,
Yeah.
like,
Well, then why in the Wolverine film was he
oh mate, it was just they just did something completely.
just a silent, bad horror kind of
Yeah, yeah,
monster?
yeah. They just went off on one completely when they did
Really, that's got
Origins.
nothing. I mean, there's no like.
Well, it's
It
in
doesn't turn
like
out like
they
that.
experimented on him.
Yeah. So
I mean, that's the thing is that he's part of the Weapon X program
yeah,
as well as Wolverine.
yeah,
Um, so they've got this like kind of connection.
yeah,
But that's kind of it. So I think in Origins it was like, oh, they've been experimenting on your friend's character, and he's now come out fucked up. But
okay. But he's supposed to be a
it's
good
like a
guy.
Frankenstein in that
Yeah,
one.
but
Which
but
is
he but in his
well,
own comics, he's an anti-hero, isn't he?
yeah,
Basically.
he's a complete anti-hero. Yeah, so
I
he's
like,
like
yeah.
yeah, he's not essentially a good guy or a bad guy really. Like he does do dicky things.
Well,
Um,
I like the line where he said, "I'm not a good guy. I'm just what do you say? I'm just
I
the
can't
bad
remember.
guy who fucks up even worse guys."
Yeah,
And that's
something like that.
cool. That's a cool line. But that was at the beginning of the film. But then I felt he lost that towards as the film went on. And like you said, he became too playful and too funny and almost too light. Whereas at the beginning, you thought he was like this, a bit of a sadistic bastard who happens to have like a conscience.
Yeah,
Towards the end, he just seemed like a fuck about hero, and especially with the whole X-Men thing. And it felt like not only could they not afford a lot of stuff, but they didn't have a license for a lot of characters. So it's like a weird subplot, like a little side story, wasn't it, to Marvel in general. But that's quite nice. It's a bit of a relief. So it didn't try to tie loads of stuff in, like say Ant-Man did.
Yeah.
Try to like budge his way in, and say, look, by the way, I'm going to be a big part of the franchise from now on. So I quite like the way it was its own story, but I just don't think the story was engaging enough for it to deserve the accolade it's getting, because everyone
No.
love it, and it's almost like everyone loves it because the guy next to them loves it, and because everyone loves it. So like, you've seen Deadpool, me too, it's cool, right? Yeah, really cool, really fun and rude. Yeah, great. Anyway, but they haven't really thought it through. Do you know what I mean?
No. But it does. I
Like
did
Contagious.
genuinely. Yeah, I did find it funny, and
Yeah,
it's
I
also
did.
they can only do so much because it's still Fox. It's not actually Marvel.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's true.
So yeah, but it's I think it's good that they'll set up to do more with it. But as a
Yeah.
first film, it's okay.
I mean, it's brave what it does. Like to even go R-rated in itself is great. That finally there is a decent superhero film which is R-rated and has violence, but it's not that. I mean, there is violence, but it's not like really gory, which you'd hope. But that might be a budget thing. But just to have even gone there and have that that tone that it's so rude and so controversial and edgy, and there's so much jokes about sex and anal sex and prostitution and everything. I think it's great that they went that far. They pushed it that far, and it was
Yeah.
funny. It did make me laugh quite a lot, but it's not as amazing as people are saying, though.
No.
But with the resources at hand, they did pretty well. I wonder if Ryan Reynolds had to take a bit of a pay cut for it, and then now he's going to really cash
Well,
in on the next one.
he produced it as well, I think. So
Yeah.
I imagine there would have been some kind of contract signed
Oh
up.
shit! So he'll be doing well, because hasn't it taken over Passion of Christ as the biggest selling R-rated film?
Yeah, it would have done, I suppose.
Mm.
Fuck, I didn't realize it took over Passion Christ.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's he would have got a big payday out of it, and he'll be getting an even bigger payday
Okay.
sequels. So he'll be looked after definitely. But yeah, I believe he produced it as well. So he had.
I mean, he's really good at it. He's perfect. Like you said.
Yeah, he's good. So what else you been watching?
Not a huge amount, to be honest. The last couple of weeks, still really working my way through. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. You know how it is.
Yeah.
On the last season now, so I'm quite sad that it's going to be over soon. But I watched Survivalist last week. I liked it. Thought it was really good. Have you seen?
So I saw up to the bit where the mum and the daughter stay round.
Oh yeah,
that's as far as I am.
Well, you and I both like the odd
weird film.
Small, subtle survival, violent, eerie, and possibly not post-apocalyptic. What am I looking for? When something has happened and
dystopian.
It's kind of dystopian, yeah, but you don't really know what's happened. But that's what I quite like. It's just when people are trying to, like The Road, something like that, where you're not quite sure exactly what's happened, but everything's fucked up, and basically that society's turned on itself.
Yeah,
and it's all about literally surviving. So I thought it was pretty good. It dragged out a little bit, but what I like about it is such a small, contained story, and there really isn't a huge amount of dialogue in the whole thing. And any film like that that has pretty much completely unknown cast, I quite like, because it gives that anonymity to like the characters in the film, because they're just in the middle of nowhere. You don't know who the hell they're supposed to be anyway. So it's quite nice that these actors haven't really been in much. So I quite like that. But it's essentially about a guy who lives in this little hut thing in, I don't know where the hell it's supposed to be.
I think it's Ireland, isn't it?
The whole thing seems very Irish, yeah. So let's say if for argument's sake, it's somewhere in Ireland, and he's just trying to survive on his own. There are flashbacks and implications that he has a family, or he's lost his family, or his wife is gone, and he's just trying to get through every day by almost in like The Martian, but a very, very, very small, tiny budget version of it, trying to survive with the limited resources he's got, trying to plant his own potatoes and stuff, and he's only really got enough for him to get through each day. And then an old lady and her, what you think, well, we assume is
careful.
no, not think. No, I mean you don't really know. That's the thing.
What she says in it, this is my daughter.
Is it? Yeah. Well, is it definitely her daughter?
I mean, if it definitely is or not, I don't know.
No, there's no spoiler or anything. You know, daughter, grandchild, whatever.
Right.
Yeah, they turn up on his door, and it's basically like, should I help them and share my very limited resources, or should I kill them? And that's basically it. That's pretty much it. You know, it's a very small story, and more things than that happen. Obviously, a couple more characters turn up, and
Right.
he's got to defend himself, and that's pretty much it. But I like it. It's really raw as a film, and it's like within 5 minutes, you see his willy, and
You do. Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's actually his. It's an over-shoulder shot, but this isn't going to.
I don't think it'll be the actors really, but
someone's
really.
Well, I'm just wondering if it's real or a prosthetic.
I think it's a real dick.
I think it is. Yeah, it's an over-the-shoulder shot of someone basically masturbating into a pot of like
Soil.
Yeah, so he's planted something, so you know it's going to help it grow.
He's pissing on everything basically the whole time.
Yeah, he's pissing and coming on everything to try and just not waste anything and sustain stuff and then eat it again, I guess. But he's really gaunt in it as well. He's like really lean. The actors obviously just become really skinny, so I think that's good. A good little thing as well. Yeah, it's hard because there's not much is said and not a huge amount happens in it, but I like it. I like the tone of it. I like the way it's filmed. And it drags a little bit in the middle, I'd say, when you're suspecting should he bring these people in and what's their agenda. But it's it's quite cool, quite enjoyed it. The ending I wasn't massively happy with, but it's hard to end. It just feels like there wasn't much budget in the whole thing, and they did the best with probably the limited stuff they had, and there's not many actors in it. But yeah, I quite like films like that. Films about survival, starvation, and having to make these small choices of whether you help someone or not could have the biggest consequences of whether or not you're even going to survive in the next couple of days. Like the kind of Walking Dead thing, it happens a lot, doesn't it? Yeah. Should we take people in, or should we use them, kill them, or should we just take their supplies? And does it benefit us, or do we just need to look after number one in this situation? So it's a very magnified, small version of that. Yeah, exactly. And it's just a very small, magnified, example of that kind of story. So yeah, I quite liked it. I definitely recommend it.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. What else did you see? Seen anything else?
What else have I seen? What have I seen? Not really. Not that comes to mind. Walking Dead. Been watching that. The first 2 episodes. Like the 3rd episode, I'm gonna watch tonight as soon as we finish this podcast. So that started well. Did you see the first?
I saw the first one.
Man, that's wicked. The first episode.
Yeah, I was like, okay, yeah. Like for something it's been my reaction.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is I'm getting a bit sick of Walking Dead now because there's just so much talking and exposition and people talking about their feelings and everything. And also it's like I don't like the way there's all these, who's the Asian guy? What's his name? Glenn. Yeah. Keeps getting saved at the last second.
I know, because I think everyone's expecting him to die, so he keeps having these almost near deaths.
Yeah,
which is quite funny. But they just keep him alive. I thought that first episode was wicked. It's become a bit of a pattern now that the first episode they just go crazy with, and there's loads of action, and then the 2nd and 3rd episode is just going to be like you said, storyline. So it's a little predictable, but I quite like that. I quite like the action. It's quite cool.
I mean, and also just I hate the thing I hate more than anything,
Mm.
whining kids in things like this. And
Yeah,
when that kid was like, can't do it, or whatever, then all
good.
that shit happened,
Hit
and
him
he was
off.
dead. Yeah, exactly, and he was dead.
It's
And I was,
great. I love the way they slayed like 3 or 4 of like the.
I know, in one moment.
That was wicked. Yeah, it was so like if you that episode, if that was to be the first episode of any other series, like guess what? There's this new zombie survival series on called Walking Dead. This is the first episode. It would have been so weird.
Yeah.
But because it's whatever it is, 6 series now, and it's become a lot more. It's in some ways quite artistically shot compared to the very beginning where it was just very conventionally shot. Like they can get away with it, like that scene where it was all weird slow motion, like all dreamy, and you're thinking, "Are these people really getting killed? What the hell is happening here?"
Yeah, that
Um,
was weird.
and I thought, this can't actually be happening. And then later on, when they were like, which I love, they were like, "Fuck it, this is it. Just go out and just smash all these zombies." Because Rick went out because he thought his son had been killed.
Like, fuck this,
He
yeah.
just went out with just basically just a hammer, like 50 zombies in the head, and then like they could have possibly made more of that scene. That the thought at that time for a lot of those characters was, "This is it, fuck it. If we die, we die," kind of thing. But instead, it was like, "Quick, let's run out and help Rick." But when they did that, and then they did that really cheesy slashing towards the camera montage, did you notice that?
That was
Like
weird.
that's what I mean. It works with Evil Dead. Walking Dead now because it could pretty much get away with what it wants. But if that was earlier in the first season, for example, it would have been, "What is this? What are they doing? Why is this like weird dreamy sequence happening?" And then they're just like all staring at the camera. Like, imagine when they're shooting it, going, "Okay, all right, it's your turn. If you can just stand here and just pretend to slash at the camera." Right, cool. Next.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
You over here. What you got? Okay, you've got like a hammer. Yeah, just like keep waving around in front of the camera. Look into the camera though, as if it's the last moment.
Wave it around.
Yeah, you're about to die, so just keep waving around. Next one. It would have been so weird to shoot, but Walking Dead can get away with that stuff now. So
Yeah, even like the rocket launcher, I was like, that was
that
great.
was sick. That was so cool because
That was funny. I was like, imagine that just in anything else.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, yeah. So it was just so over the top. Basically, is what I'm saying. Everything is so over the top now that I'm still enjoying it. But I don't know where the season's going to go because storyline wise, it is starting to drag out. There's no
Always does.
urgency. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going to happen.
They're really trying to like not catch up too fast with the comics.
Are they? Yeah,
well, yeah, because it's like, well,
they're going to meet a very pivotal bad guy, right? Soon.
Yeah, Negan. If you met him yet, Harry Dean Morgan, whatever his name is.
No, what was his name? Regan.
Well, I've always called him Negan.
Negan.
Negan. I can't remember. I've never had to say it out loud.
No, I'm not sure. 2 episodes he hasn't been into it. In the second episode, this guy who calls himself Jesus with long hair and a beard.
Oh my god, Jesus is in it.
Yeah, he keeps escaping shit. Okay, is he a big character in the comics?
He's in the comics, man. He's gay as well. He's like a kick-ass gay guy.
Oh, wicked. Yeah, he's in it now. So he's just like, they keep trying to capture him, and then he keeps just like suddenly escaping and being like, "Dude, seriously, stop trying to fuck me up. We need to talk about some stuff." So he's literally, I was just watched the first few minutes of the 3rd episode as we're about to start, and he just went, "Everything's going to change. You're going to be in a big group soon," something like that. And then the titles came up, so I'm going to watch that in a sec. Okay. But he's in it, yeah. But the only thing I read recently, let's say Negan apparently the rumor is they had to shoot 2 versions of some of his scenes because he swears so much, does he? In the
comics, man. He literally like every other word is a swear word.
Yeah. So apparently in the TV show they've had to film like a clean version and a dirty version, which is quite cool.
Oh, really? Yeah, because apparently, well, not apparently, but like if you read, so after each comic they have like a letter section with Robert Kirkman and someone else.
Yeah.
And a lot of letters around the time of Negan was just like literally just basically being okay. So this whole thing that's coming up now.
Yeah.
A lot of readers dropped off.
Really?
Comics. One, because everyone was like, Negan is just like another
governor. No, what's his name?
Yeah.
Governor?
Yeah. It's another governor, and all you've done is you've turned him into like some weird biker, and you just make him swear a lot. And obviously, it's that classic thing with like, it's quite lazy
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
And he uses like
Just shock
very,
value.
yeah, and he uses like really stupid terms for stuff like, uh, it's just going to be like the fucking cunt liquor of a boot ball sack or something like that. And you're like, it's trying to be creative swearing, and you're just like, oh, it's just, ooh. It doesn't work. It gets a bit cartoony.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
And
I get
Robert
you.
Kirkman replied was like, to the people in the comments anyway, being like, the thing is, I hate swearing, so I wanted to do someone that was really out there and just swore like all the time.
Right.
So I created this character, and it's like I do genuinely like Negan as a character, and
Yeah.
he's a fucking horrible piece of shit. But he's actually quite funny, and he knows he's horrible.
Yeah.
And also, oh, okay, well, I won't ruin anything, but I'd also like there's one guy. So one of the major things where a lot of people dropped off
Yeah.
was that they meet one guy, a good guy, who has a pet tiger, huge tiger.
What the fuck, really?
Yeah,
That's crazy. Why would they do
and
that?
everyone was like, "I'm out." Like when that tiger, not everyone, but like a lot of people, like, dude, Negan is just another governor who swears a lot, and now you've got a guy who keeps a fucking tiger for a pet. Like, this is stupid. I'm out.
Right.
But
So
yeah,
it just got a bit too
got a
like,
bit silly, and I'm
yeah,
wondering. And it would be interesting to see what they do with that. But
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, I haven't read the comics now I mean, that's the thing is that I always think, oh man, I haven't read the comics for about 7 months, and it literally takes me 10 minutes to catch up because obviously it's just a comic. It's like a comic a month or something.
Yeah.
And each comic literally takes me about 3 or 4 minutes to read. It's like not long at all. And the new character, the new evil guys they have now, who's like a woman. I mean, bear in mind it's jumped. It
That's
after this storyline with
yeah.
Negan
Yeah.
in
To
the
change.
comics, it jumps like 5 years.
Oh. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Hopefully they do
Yes,
that. Yeah, because they jumped a little bit in this one, didn't they? Not long, but in the first episode, after Rick's kid got shot in the face and somehow survived.
yeah.
Then
So that's in the comics as well.
yeah, but then it
Um,
cut forward what must have been not long, but a few months anyway.
okay, well, I haven't seen the second episode, so
Was that the beginning of the second episode? Oh, it must be, yeah, the very beginning of the second episode. It jumps forward, which I mean, the only way you can really judge it is the baby, how much the baby's grown, but it's probably, I'd say 6 months they jump
okay,
forward. It's,
okay.
yeah,
That's
6 months, I reckon. But yeah, but when that happened at the beginning of the second episode, the way the camera kind of pans across what they do is they pan across a photo of the kid with his eye patch. So it's like it's enough time for them having to that they've taken a photo, somehow developed it, and put it into a frame
right.
of the kid wearing an eye patch since the incident happened. Do you know what I mean? So
Okay, yeah,
you assume that when I saw that, and it's also the way that they shoot that opening shot sequence of the second episode. You assume it's going to be years. So I was hoping, oh, wicked, it's going to be like 2 or 3 years or something, and they're going to look different, but it's not. So it just feel after that you're like, oh, okay, maybe it's just like 3 months, 4 months, I don't know.
yeah.
So I was hoping for a jump. So if they do that at the time you're talking about, that'd be cool. So because it needs like a reboot, something that's going to jump
Yeah.
forward.
Well, I mean, new Carl, like once Carl,
Oh, that's it. I couldn't remember.
you have to be careful because people don't. I mean, you've kind of said it, but whatever.
Yeah, it's been on TV. Nah, it's all right.
But when Carl, basically from here on end, Carl does get a lot cooler. He gets really
Okay.
angry,
Right.
which is good. Now the
Yeah.
problem is that, and this is what I've been saying for a while, is the kid who plays Carl.
Yeah.
I hate him.
I
He's
know
so
that's the thing. I just want him
It's-
to. That's almost why they should jump forward so they can change the actor.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that would have a massive positive impact because the problem is like he's got like what he's got coming up with. He is basically like he becomes like a little survivor a little bit.
Yeah.
He's starting to become more like a little Rick.
Yeah.
And
Oh, he's still wearing his bloody hat, isn't he?
oh my god, get rid of
I
that.
know.
And
I know, it's fucking annoying.
you know, it's just like, dude, how old are you? You've been wearing that since you were like 10.
Yeah, and it's just like this freckly 12-year-old face. It's like, just grow up already. Come on.
Yeah, I know he looks like such a pansy, and so that's why I'm a little bit like, oh man, it's going to be really lame if he's going to have to try and act hard now, and it's the same actor.
Yeah, it will be.
And also, if they jump, for the thing is now that they jump forward in the thing,
Hmm.
old man Rick isn't as great as his young man
Oh,
Rick.
really? That's a shame.
Yeah, well, but it's a bit different because in the comics he's only got one hand as well.
What the fuck? Really?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing in the
Right
comics,
now?
yeah, man, like literally,
Oh,
Christ, ages and ages ago in the comics, he got
oh.
his hand cut off. So what happened is the first time that Rick met the governor, they went to it's the first time that we met the governor as well. They went to the camp, and he was a bit like, "Hey, what's going on here?" Whatever. And governor was like, "Hey, come in, come in." And he's like, "Right, so this is kind of what we do here." And he took them to like a match where it was where they were battling the zombies, that which
Mm.
kind of did happen in the TV series, but
Yeah. Yeah,
but
they were
it
sport.
but they're here in the comics. It's more like a sporting event almost.
Okay.
And he's like, "Hey, so come and watch this. Like, this is what we do here." And Rick's a bit like, "Okay, it's a bit weird." He's like, "Right." He goes, "Yeah, so I kind of have to do something first." And he's like, "Okay." And he gets his hand and slices his fucking right hand
Oh,
off.
shit.
And he's like, "Look," he's like, and it's like, "Fuck," and it all kicks off.
Yeah.
And the governor's like, "I need to do that because I see that you're the leader, and I need to like put some control of you, like right now, and just let you know that I'm in
Did he
charge."
survive it?
Just does. They just fucking tape it up. Well, I think he but I think he puts his stump into like a fire or whatever, singes it.
Oh,
I
classic.
can't. I honestly can't remember. I think they actually. It might be. Someone's going to be probably shouting down the podcast this, but I think he does it, and then the doctor's like quite an important part of it. Like he is in the TV show, and I think he just stitches him up, and they send them back on their own way.
Well, now there's the other doctor, isn't there? The girl with glasses who's annoying. And it's like, oh, I'm crap and scared of doing anything, and I hope I don't have to save anyone's lives. And then
She's like a walking pig, and then she's like hanging out with Dave Grohl.
Yeah, dude, that fucking guy. Yeah, but then it's her time to shine at the end of the first episode when that happens to Carl, isn't it? That's the whole point. It's like, okay, here you go, here's your time, and then the camera's just like panned over that way, and then end of the episode, bam. So we don't even know how she even did it. But how do you survive being shot in the eye?
Well, the thing is that in the comics, at the angle they've done it, it's not like hit his brain or anything. It's just ripped out the fucking side of his head. So they just kind of
that's what you expect.
Steer it up and bandage it up for ages.
It didn't look like that TV show. It looked like he shot through his head.
Yeah, but no, I mean that's kind of how it looked. I mean, in the comics, excuse me, in the comics, it's like he's got a fucking hole in his head, like where his eye was.
How like that's dead, man. And it's not like they're in a hospital, like a fancy hospital where he's going to get the best treatment. Like they're
again, mate, a lot of people,
somewhere.
A lot of people had a problem with it in the comics as well, and like he had to kind of back that up, and he was like, "It's not touched his brain. It shot his eye out. They were able to get there in time. They did X, Y, Z, or whatever." And it's like, okay.
They're like, so, but what is X, Y, Z? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what X, Y, Z is. They just did it. But how did they do that? Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. I don't know. He might have explained it properly, but the whole thing is like I don't mind it because I was just like, hey, it makes him look cool. He's got a fucking eye patch now, and he's got one eye.
Yeah. They needed him to be a bit cooler because he's fucking lame. That character.
Yeah, but the new enemies that are like post Negan stuff, they're pretty good. They're pretty good.
Okay,
it'd be good once they kind of. Like the Negan stuff is pretty great, but it's just a bit.
Does it last long? Do you think that
it lasts ages?
It will still go on to the next season because this is still just the second half.
In the comics, it lasted for like fucking 2.5 years or something.
Shit. Because this is the second half of the sixth, is it? Sixth season?
Yeah.
So I still don't get why they do this half-season stuff, but so this is still only going to be about 6 episodes, isn't it? And then the 7th season will be what, next year or even the year after. So
so this Negan thing will go on for a while.
Okay.
I mean, it goes on for a while in the comics, but they'll really drag it out. Like they dragged Governor out for so long.
Yeah. That was good. All good stuff though. I quite liked it all, but that did take a while.
But also, like post Negan stuff, like Negan was the last big huge thing, storyline thing. But like post Negan, there's not that much. I mean, they'll be catching up with the comics basically, so I think they'll really make this drag out for a bit.
Yeah, they probably will.
But that's cool.
What are you seeing then?
Man, all right, okay. Let's get the list out. So I saw a documentary. I think you can get it on Netflix now as well, called "Give Up Tomorrow."
Yeah.
which is Philippines. Funny enough, well, I say funny enough because I was in the Philippines not so long ago, but and it's about basically this girl. Why am I laughing? It's terrible. Two girls got raped and murdered, but the problem is
Oh,
that
that's
there's
not
this
laughing,
like.
man.
I know, but the thing is, the reason why I'd like, God, Jesus, I'm screwing myself over here. Ding, that's the police. But the reason why it's it's not that's not funny. But then basically, this kid who's like a million miles away somehow gets picked up for it,
Yeah,
and is accused of the murder. And he's like, he's got photos of him with his mates on that very night.
yeah.
Like, it's literally impossible for him to get there. And him and some other guys who he's never met before get told that they're in a group, and they get charged for murder and found guilty.
Shit.
But the
Right.
thing is, it's like, that's why it's funny. It's in like, it's absolutely insane that
Yeah,
but it's this whole thing about the legal system, corruption, like real proper corruption, and just how it's just the justice legal system is absolutely mad. But it's also just really fucking weird. Like, the girl's parents are kind of wrapped up in like organized crime stuff, and they just want to see these innocent kids go down. But the problem is that the main kid, and his name's like the Pacquiao or something like that. I can't remember.
Manny Pacquiao.
Yeah, it's not Manny Pacquiao, but yeah. He's like some big kind of like oaf looking guy. So he just looks like a thug anyway. When
Yeah.
he's just like, he's just a really simple guy. But yeah, and it's just all like one big sad story. But man, if you think like Making a Murderer, if you people like shaking their fist at that,
Yeah.
they should see Give Up Tomorrow, because that is just like insane.
Really.
Yeah, and that's really good. And then I saw another documentary.
It was just a one-off though, right?
Yeah, it's just a one-off.
Yeah.
And I saw another documentary which I fucking loved, and it's called The 7-5.
Okay.
And it's about, essentially, it's about the 7-5 precinct in, I think it's Brooklyn.
Right.
And one guy in particular who is just corrupt as fuck. It's a documentary, and they go from like the interviews of him now to him when he was giving evidence at a court case, and he gave evidence on like how fucking corrupt he was. But he was like, but there was this weird like, this is what I love about it. It felt like a real like film, because even though he was really corrupt, and he's like open about like, I stole drugs, I stole money, I did this.
Has he
that.
been like incarcerated for
Yeah,
that?
he's out of jail now.
Oh, so he can. So now he can just say whatever the fuck he wants because he said.
Well, yeah, I guess so. 'Cause the thing is, he said it all under oath as well. Like they asked him, and he was like, one good thing is you don't snitch on another cop.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
Okay.
And even when he gave all his evidence, he was like, I'll tell you whatever you want to know. I'm not giving you names. Like, I'm not snitching on anyone.
Right,
I don't give a fuck.
He's just confessing what he did.
Yeah, and it's this weird like honor in thieves' honor, you know what I mean? Honor among thieves.
Yeah.
But man, just like hearing these guys talk about what they did, it was like The Shield, but like real life.
Really?
So fucking, I mean, it's horrible, like, but it was just so fucking cool just to listen to. Like
drugs, violence,
ex-cops, yeah, just like
everything.
Going around doing what they want. They've worked for this like drug dealer who they interview in the thing, and he's like some like real like fucking like from a James Bond drug dealer kind of thing. He just looks, it sounds amazing. And yeah, man, they're just talking about this crooked cop. It's so good, really good. I don't know where you can get it, but yeah, really enjoyed it. It literally felt like a really good cop film, but it was a documentary.
It's well made, like.
Yeah, it is well made. I mean, it's talking heads, but it's using a lot of like footage from the day. It puts it into the context of what was happening at that time in terms of crime. In terms of, it was like they were like saying, yeah, we had like a murder a week kind of thing. Like, it was shithole.
Yeah, sounds like it. It says it was like all this shit was going down in the 80s, 90s.
Yeah, I think this is more 70s, 80s.
Okay.
Man, really good. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I saw a really random film for me to see, because it was made for basically middle-aged women, but called "I'll See You in My Dreams."
Right.
which I think is like Gwyneth Paltrow's mum. I can't remember her name.
Mum.
Yeah.
Matrix.
But yeah, she's an actress. Yeah,
Okay.
she's the mum in Meet the Parents and all that.
Oh right, is
De
she?
Niro's
What, De Niro's wife? That's
yeah,
Gwyneth Paltrow's mum.
yeah,
Oh my jeez, I didn't know that.
yeah, and so she basically plays some like old lady who her husband's dead, her dog's
Yeah,
just died, and she's like, I'm all by myself, and it's just like a weird, like Broken Flowers, like that kind of
yeah,
weird, like, but it's for like a woman, and she's got this like young guy, and
yeah.
they don't actually like do anything or fancy each other or anything
Right.
like that, but there's this kind of like weird romance thing, and then she like meets someone her own age,
Okay. Yeah.
and all this.
So it is a love story.
No, not really. It's more like just dealing with being old, basically.
Oh, okay.
Just
Right.
trying to be like young, but reach out, but you're just like an old lady now, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I
Is it
actually
is
really
one of
liked
those
it.
like enjoying my golden years, like another coming of age, but when you're old.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what the equivalent of coming of age is when you're like in your
Yeah, neither do I.
60s or whatever it is.
Enlightenment. I don't know. But it was.
Not stopping giving a shit basically about everything and just
Yeah,
enjoying it.
yeah. But also, like, I think it's just more she's trying to maintain her, not maintain her youth, just like she doesn't want to be like a dithering old lady. Like she still wants
Yeah,
to like
okay.
live. Um,
But is
and
it
it was good.
is it funny? It's not like what
I
was
mean, I didn't laugh out loud at any
what's the
point,
Jack
and it's
Nicholson one? The well, he's
as good
done a
as it
few of
gets.
those kind of films, isn't he?
As good as it gets.
It's
Schmidt
good,
about Schmidt.
good as it gets. Yeah, about Schmidt was the whole bucket list one, wasn't it? But it's
But
not
it
like
was the
that.
bucket list.
Oh yeah, but it's not like that, is it? Is it more like
It's not as it's not as quirky as that. This is
yeah,
more just like it's got an indie flavor, but it's made
yeah,
for like older women. Put it that way.
not just women, old women.
Older women. But
Okay.
I genuinely I thought it was all right. I mean, it's like a drama thing. I mean, she was really good.
Yeah.
It's a story about nothing essentially, like nothing. There's a few like incidents that happen, but essentially it's yeah. I
Okay.
don't know. I mean, it's tough for me to kind of like. I wouldn't recommend that you see it, but if you're
Okay.
like,
But when I'm an
what,
old lady,
but when
I'll
you're an old
I'll
lady,
probably
then
watch it.
maybe. But yeah, but if it's
Can't
like
wait.
I don't know, like people out there might be like, oh, what do I watch like with my mum that she might like?
Yeah,
Um, and maybe it's
it's a
this.
safe one for that. Huh?
Yeah, but it's not bad. I still thought it was all right.
That and the second Marigold Hotel.
Oh God, yeah, exactly. Um, I saw randomly. I saw because we were talking about it the other day. Ip Man 2 because I realized I hadn't. It was Ip Man that I'd seen, not Ip Man
Yeah,
2.
I've seen two. Yeah, but three's out. Three's come and gone
I
now.
know, I know. I need to still see
Quite
that,
tasty,
but
isn't it?
oh God, I can't believe it. I saw that. But Ip Man 2 was all right. I mean, I just like
Yeah,
seeing Sammo Hung to be honest,
yeah,
doing
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. Yeah,
Um,
but it's so over the top, isn't it? Ip Man One at least was tried. It tried to be based on the real events in Ip Man's life. And then Ip Man 2. I thought, what even happens in Ip Man 2? It just gets really
boxing match. It's just so
yeah, it was that
stupid.
annoying like posh plummy boxer dude,
That's
right?
right. Yeah, yeah.
Because Ip Man 1 was more so about Japanese occupation, right? At some point,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
I
it's
think.
all about Japanese.
And then obviously then he moved, he went to Hong Kong, and then at the end it's like, oh, this kid turns up, maybe he's Bruce Lee. But then the second one is like, how do we just make up another story to do with Ip Man? And that's what they did. But it's in that one, isn't it? Like him and Sammo Hung are fighting on like the tables in the restaurant,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
dancing around. That's pretty cool. I like that stuff.
yeah. And I just love Sammo Hung.
Yeah, it's
I was
great.
showing Tess afterwards. I was like, here's some like best of Sammo Hung clips. I'm just like the fact that this guy like changed to Jackie Chan and all this stuff, but he was just fat.
But he was Jackie
It's just
Chan's
doing this
big
amazing stuff.
brother. So Jackie Chan called him Big Brother his whole life when
Yeah,
they were together in the acrobatics slash martial arts school in Hong Kong. And then Sammo Hung was like the bigger bully, but then he broke his ankle and then he couldn't train for like 6 months and he got fat and he stayed fat. And that's basically it. So that from then on he wasn't like the bigger bully boy, he was just the fat kid. And
fat
yeah.
kid.
So then Jackie Chan kind of overtook him, and then it was Jackie Chan who brought Sammo Hung back, who brought him into
No,
movies and
really.
stuff. Yeah, apparently. Yeah,
Yeah, it's good though. I mean,
yeah, it's wicked.
that's it. Um, so that then randomly, I was like, oh, as soon as I'm in the mood for kung fu stuff, I'll watch the Grandmaster, not realizing the Grandmaster is about Ip Man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I was like,
I
oh,
haven't
it's
seen
Ip
that
Man
before.
again.
Yeah,
I didn't like it. I was like, this is really
yeah.
boring.
Our mutual friend Rob said that the other day as well. He saw it for the first time only recently. He hated it.
Like, I know it's Wong Kar-wai, and I love
I know
him,
it
but I
was,
was like,
it was a bit boring, wasn't it? I mean, I love how some of it was shot.
yeah.
Some of the
But I
rain
was
and
thinking
stuff.
that, and I was like, yeah, exactly, it's the rain stuff. And I was
Yeah,
like, it's just slow-mo and close-ups. Like, it does look good, it looks great, but it's just soulless.
I know. Like, I love
It's like
Tony
Tony
Leung though. He's
Leung. Yeah,
amazing.
exactly.
He is incredible. He is the De Niro, the Chinese De Niro, basically. And Wong Kar-wai. Yeah, I was really looking forward to it. I mean, I can't remember
Well,
it
exactly.
came out
Like,
like
I
three
only
years
saw
ago or
it.
something.
Yeah,
Probably whenever it was. I just remember it being some amazing set pieces and not much in between. And it's a very liberal take on the Ip Man story, isn't it? I think it's
well, they
just,
all are.
yeah, of
Let's
course,
put it
yeah, because I'm sure his story is probably a lot more boring than all these films. But it's yeah, it's just an excuse to have a very artsy, very fancy, crazy, hyper surreal fight sequences and a love story in between.
yeah,
Um, but yeah,
love story. The loosest
yeah,
sense of the term.
yeah, exactly. But it wasn't much. It wasn't classic One Kar Wai, basically, was it?
No, I
I
mean, I
like
was a
his
little bit
small,
like,
intimate stories. You know, I don't know about these big, epic dramas. I don't know if they really suit his style.
no, just I didn't really, I just didn't like it, especially after that's too much It Man. Funny enough, the other one I
Yeah,
saw,
especially if you didn't
oh
you
God,
didn't expect it to happen.
I know, I
I
was
just want
just
something
like, oh,
different,
okay.
different but similar. Oh, same guy, huh?
I know,
Oh,
it's just
okay.
when he turned around and he was like, I'm Ip Man. I was like,
Yeah,
fucking hell.
yeah,
Are you
yeah.
joking?
Well,
Can't
this.
watch this film.
No,
Um, yeah, but it's funny. And as I say, so the other one, funny enough, you mentioned it earlier, was Selma. I saw.
okay.
Uh, I didn't like it that much.
I never saw it.
It's a bit cheesy.
Really?
And I think it was, again, it's like take a very serious issue. I mean, it was all right again, but I was like, it's the director woman. I can't remember her name, which is terrible. But she comes from like a PR film background. I think she did direct one other film before this,
Right.
but
Okay.
she's like industry insider. Like she's one of
Yeah.
the high flyers, and
Right.
now she's just turned around and been like, "I'm going to make a film."
Because I want to.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, yeah, it's terrible what happened, and
Yeah.
I do enjoy watching the stuff about civil rights
Yeah.
and they were like, "Oh yeah, I hate white people and cops and everything," and I know it's really bad, um, but I don't know. Just I was when it finished, I was like, eh. I mean, like it obviously got a lot of people headed up or whatever, but
Yeah.
I was like, I thought that was not. I thought it was quite boring, if anything, to be honest.
Yeah. I haven't really.
Um,
There's a reason why I haven't seen it, and it didn't really appeal to me.
no, I
It
mean,
seemed
like,
like at the time it seemed quite Oscar baited, but it didn't really. It didn't do that well commercially, did it? Box office wise, it
no,
didn't seem to anyway. But I guess I was living in Asia at the time, and they didn't give a shit about that kind of thing. But yeah,
just generally black
yeah,
people stuff.
yeah.
Uh,
Don't go there.
the other thing I saw randomly was Starman.
Oh,
Oh
really?
God, which is John Carpenter randomly
Yeah. I
and
mean, is Starman 80s?
Jeff Bridges. Yeah, 80s, like 82 or something.
Yeah.
Um, it's weird. I mean, it's bad. I thought when it started, I was like, it's really long for a start, but I was like, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. And it kind of grew on me after a while.
I can't
But
remember
I
what
was
that.
like,
I've seen it. Oh, he just. Oh yeah, he's a dude from space, right?
he talks all weird and he like opens his
Yeah.
mouth massively. And I'm just like, what the Jeff Bridges?
Jeff.
God, I was
Yeah.
getting mixed up. I do this every fucking time we talk about them.
It is Jeff Bridges. Yeah.
Okay, who was the
Yeah.
one that was in Dumb and Dumber?
Yeah. That's Jeff Daniels.
Jeff Daniels. Okay,
Yeah,
good,
this is
good, good,
Jeff
good.
Bridges. Yeah.
Um,
But he's an alien. Is
yeah,
he an alien? He's an
yeah, he's
alien.
an alien. I know
Yeah.
it wasn't that bad. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
What else did I see? The Neil Partridge just has 10 years is pretty good.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah. So what channel was that on? The Alan Partridge.
It's on Sky something or other.
Okay.
Just watch the Sky anytime.
Okay.
Also, X-Files is finished. I still haven't seen the last episode, the sixth, but
Okay.
it's been just so bad.
Has it just been a chore to get through it?
Oh God, I hate it. Literally,
Oh man, oh man, it's a shame.
it's just really bad. But one thing I have enjoyed is Tim and Eric have a new series out called Tim and Eric's Bedtime Stories.
Okay, what's that like then?
Which it's like comedy horror stuff. Basically, if you like Tim and Eric, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
If you don't, then you won't get it. But there's like,
What
it's
is Tim
one
and
episode-
Eric, for those who don't know?
Tim and Eric is a comedy duo, but they do really weird. They do a lot of stuff on Adult Swim, but it's really like weird little sketches. Like it's all done a bit
They're American.
cheesy. Yeah, American, and they do like tons of stuff, like especially online. But this
Okay.
is like a new high production value kind of series
Yeah.
where they do, it's like little funny horror stories. So like one is about like this guy moves in and his neighbor's a bit of a psycho. There's like one bit where he's like, he smashes his car up with the baseball bat and it just goes on for ages and he's really trying to like, so you've got that, you know, like it's leading up to like supposed to be like a 90s thriller kind of thing. And he's like there with the baseball bat, he's like, tsh, does it? He's like, oh my God. Then after a while, he's still like going for it. It's just like, yeah, almost there kind of thing, stupid stuff like that. And another one is about this like weird David Bowie alien type creature who can't really, this kid who like can't really like sing, he just makes these weird noises. And this other guy's like obsessed with it and invites him to his son's birthday party. And that turns out goes quite wrong. And then another one is about these two like actor guys who roomies, and they speak in like broken Spanish, like really bad Spanish, like they get there. It just, and that in itself is quite funny. And one of their like mums turn up and starts going out with the other one, and then I don't know, that's just fucking weird. But it's all it's stupid, weird kind of like humor, which I love. But but see, if I mean, if you haven't seen Tim and Eric, I highly recommend it anyway. But
yeah, I haven't seen any of this stuff, so I'll have to check it out.
Well, funny enough, like I was talking about with Ed and Ben and Rich and with all this stuff about doing a Tim and Eric day back home in Epsom. And because I think a lot of people have seen some stuff that I quite like it. It's grown on me.
Yeah.
And
It sounds right up my alley, so I do need to watch it.
I mean, literally, you could stick them on YouTube or you know, or however you want to acquire them. And you could just watch them, just play through all different Tim and Eric. There's Tim and Eric playlists and whatever.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I will.
It's good. So this is their new series and pretty good. I think that's it. Fuck.
Yeah, man. I think so. Yeah, you've watched a lot more than I have. I'm gonna try and get my act together in the next couple of weeks and watch some stuff.
I mean, to be fair, we haven't done these for a couple of weeks, so
yeah, I know. But yeah, I definitely want to get to the cinema and see. I mean, what are some of the big films coming out now? There's going to be a bit of a, what are we looking at? We're looking into March. There's going to be a lull now. We're in that whole like spring lull until the first blockbuster is going to be coming out. So you know, yeah, exactly.
What is out? I don't actually know. I'm going to just look real quick.
But out at the moment or coming out soon?
Well, Grimsby should be out.
Yeah, I think that's out next week or something. Yeah,
it's supposed to be right. Oh, The Forest. I want to see that.
Yeah, Witches, The Witch or Witches.
The Witch is supposed to be so good.
Yeah, that's coming out in a few weeks, so that's going to be a nice one.
The
Forest. The Forest. I want to see.
Zoolander 2 is supposed to be terrible. Tesseract.
Yeah, is that going to be that shit? Okay.
She said it was literally like why they made it. No idea.
But this is the time where they just churn out the crappy like some sequels, but more like cheap action crap. London Has Fallen is coming out. There's going to be some like action thrillers that aren't really going to change the world, and then there's Hail Caesar, which has got a really good cast, and that's Coen Brothers, isn't it? So that's not coming out.
Good, so I've heard.
Really? That's either out or coming out soon, and then when we're talking April, May time, that's when Marvel
and Superman and shit.
Yeah, Marvel season will start again, and Civil War, which I'm looking forward to actually. I think I'm looking forward to it. I've got quite high expectations for Civil War, more so than Batman vs Superman. So yeah, got a few months of some duds, but we'll get through it
Yeah.
if we even see them anyway.
Yeah, good point. Well, guys, you can email us soggypopcornteam@gmail.com. You can follow us on the old Tweeteroozies, which is what is it? It's at Soggy Popcorn. I want to say it's at Soggy Popcorn UK. No, it's
Yeah,
just
I
at
think so.
Soggy. I think no, yeah, it's at Soggy
That's like a
Popcorn.
popcorn, right?
You can go to our YouTube page, youtube.com/soggyypopcorn. I don't know what's up there. You can also follow our
Not much.
Wild Ball UK. We also have On the Game, our gaming one, which we'll be doing our games of and moments of 2015 on that, even though it's March now. Just because I spent like 5 months playing Metal Gear Solid 5, so caught up a little bit of that. So yeah, thanks for listening, and I'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, cool. See you later, guys. Next time.
Goodbye. Yeah, I can't find the end of this.